All right,
We're
let go.
on.
Ready or not,
Hey,
here I come.
here I come. You
Gonna
can't hide.
can't
I'm gonna
hide.
find
Find you. We're gonna
and
find
then,
you and make you come to Africa.
hey, that's dope. So yeah, we got to do that. We just gonna like go off of the song that we feel, and then that's how you open up
Yes,
a black show, a good black show. You know,
you just
like
you just go with the feeling.
yes, and you come with the vibes. Perfect. What's up, you guys?
What up, people?
Up, 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 up. Can't wait to get our
Hey,
sounds. Yo,
Lego.
I got this tablet right here, and I'm doing the beats. I'm totally about to start having sounds for us.
Oh
Swear,
yes,
I just don't remember till we come on. We're gonna have these sounds ready next show.
we got family already in the building. Y'all didn't even know we was coming.
Hey, what's up? Oh, they probably knew. I posted it.
Okay.
I meant to tell you I tagged you.
Oh, thanks.
What is up, you guys?
I didn't get my notification.
Yeah. What is up, family? How are y'all? How's everybody on this beautiful Sunday?
¿Cómo estás?
So, as you guys know, I
Mm,
am your co-host, De La Soul, and this is
you better know, Afro Millennial Mama, baby.
yes, yes, and together we are Repat No Cap, and we love you guys, and we're so happy to be here.
Yes, check baby, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey,
Check baby,
hey.
1, 2, 3.
I was dancing in the street like there's a new Mexican restaurant here, and I
Oh, for
went to
real?
it last night. Yeah, we should go. It's like
Uh, they got
I
some
had a
competition.
burrito. Yeah, but not really. I
Mm,
don't know.
not
Caliente is
quite.
still, yeah.
All right.
But
Caliente
they
got
did
the number one
try
spot.
for sure, for sure. They're trying. It wasn't bad. I was pleased. It wasn't bad.
Hmm.
It was funny
Man.
because we were like, you can tell that it was Senegalese people cooking in the spot or that owned it because even though it looks Hispanic on the outside and in the little, like in the very front part, it totally gets Senegalese. It totally gets African when you walk in because it's like a nightclub. So
Mm,
it looks like it has the lights that's going around and like so we was like, okay, yeah, you can totally tell. But it was
mm,
really good though.
mm.
Mhm. Yeah, I was dancing in the street. That was the point of me bringing that
Oh, okay. You always
up.
dancing in the street. What else is new?
Right. Speaking of things that are new, fam, how was your week? Tell us
Yes.
about the new.
Oh man. I had the best week ever. I need a do over
Oh my
and
God.
a do over again and again. I had the bomb with you see these flags behind me. So I
Yes.
went to a colonizer country and I had the time of my life. Uh I went to I went to
You gotta
Spain.
go there in there.
I went to Spain. I felt a little guilty about it, but I had a blast. And then I went to
Really?
Portugal. I went to Portugal. Well, actually, I didn't really go to Portugal, but I still got the flag because I gave myself credit because I landed there and they gave me problems.
Right.
And then so I had a whole experience. It's being stuck in the airport
Right.
and all this other stuff going on. And so I'm like, well, they owe me for that experience, like a little memento. So
You gotta get a flag. Right.
yeah, yeah. So I got their flag. I'm a conquistador. I'm like conquesting all the
Yes. Yes.
colonies back. But it
I
was
love
the
it.
best week. It started out rough and it like smoothed out real nice. We just decided to like make the best of
Yeah.
all the unfortunate stuff that was happening. Like I got
Hmm.
blogs coming, but like what's his name? My partner in crime almost got arrested and it was
Oh my
like
God.
then in one airport and then in another airport he's like yelling causing the whole scene and like everybody's looking
You
around
didn't
like
tell me about
what like
that.
dude it was
What?
I didn't
Oh my God.
I was like this I'm like I'm not with this person yet but like he will go in like you know how Senegalese people are very nice, and so you don't
Mm.
realize that they can like get bucked, like get ghetto and just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
and
right,
so
right.
they can, and he did, and you know it worked out in the end.
What?
Like he knew what he was doing, but it
Right.
was just like, bro,
Yes.
like we gotta make people mad though. Like they be taking passports and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to mess around. But yeah,
Oh my goodness. And you vlogged it? You got to vlog that?
I
I
vlogged.
wanna. I definitely.
I didn't vlog him going buck because I didn't know what was gonna happen. But
Yeah.
that part I have to tell you when we off because
Yes.
some stuff happened that we can't tell the people until you move here. There are certain things that you can't know because
Yeah.
you can't. It's just here. We
Yeah.
keep it in house. But
Yeah.
but yeah. So that one
Oh,
I
okay.
have to figure out how to tell you about that. But it was a great time. It really we went to Barcelona, and it really
Mm.
reminded me of Los Angeles, and I
Really?
actually yes, I actually like felt like crying. Like I really without
Wow.
like I didn't feel maybe because I was in like tourist areas and stuff, but I didn't feel like I didn't feel the racist vibes that I'm used to feeling. So I don't know if
Mm.
that's me after living here, if it's there because it's a mixed area. Like it's Spanish people. Like okay, so like people get even myself included. People get tripped up when people speak Spanish because people usually like mix with Indian and black and African and stuff. But like
Right.
these people, white, like Idaho white, like
Mm.
white. But then you got
Right.
the other ones that's
Right.
like flamenco, like the gypsies and
Uh.
the darker ones with the mix with the Arab and African North African culture. But like the rest
Right.
of them is like Idaho, they skin didn't get no sun, and
Hmm.
like you know how you have different kinds of Caucasian people in America, like the New York kind
Mm.
and the LA kind and
Yeah.
the Texas. Like
Texas
these was
time.
like
Right.
yes, these was like Minnesota, Utah, like
Mm.
very little flavor. And so
Okay. Right.
when you hear them speak Spanish and their skin is kind of pink, like real
Mm.
pale, it's like whoa. And so I'm like,
Hold on.
hey, I be
No.
uh huh.
Whoa. I was about to say, Coast is in here crying. He about to bust in here. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. What's wrong? What's wrong, Coast? You may think that it's his time to cry. Okay,
Y'all
it is to be his time.
hit up the like for me,
Yes.
please. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yes. Show us some love. Okay, so the kids made me fries. I'm going to eat, guys. Okay, go
Oh,
ahead.
that's sweet. I'm gonna have to eat
Not
after this.
the, not the basil leaf in the fries. Okay.
Oh, yeah, the situation was it was interesting, but there was a lot of people where I'm like, they look Mexican, but then I'm like, maybe they not
Yeah.
Mexican. But after we met somebody from South America,
Mhm.
she was like, nah, half the people here is from Ecuador and South America. So I was like, oh, I'm like, that's why everybody looks so familiar. Like you just feel that
Yeah.
familiar feeling, and you don't
Right.
know, like you don't like this is a place where you cannot tell where nobody's from. We seen black people speaking
Mm.
Spanish. We seen Senegalese people. They everywhere, man. Like
Really?
I'm gonna be
Wow.
finding them. Senegalese people are in every single country in the world. Like we met a
Yes.
guy.
I think so too.
We went to Puerto Rico once and met a guy there from Senegal. Like it's everywhere, everywhere.
Mm.
So we was yeah
Mm-hmm.
we was they be selling like souvenirs wherever you go. That's what they be doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we was at the beach.
Wow.
It was straight up like Venice Beach, yo. And like I be
Mm.
when I go to certain places, I feel like I'm anticipating is somebody gonna make me feel like I don't belong here and like all this little
Yeah. Mm.
westernized stuff. But like nothing really happened
Yeah.
unless I didn't notice it, unless it was
Yeah.
subtle. I didn't feel that way.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, okay, it's a tourist place, so they need the money from everybody. But I
Mm.
really felt like good vibes. I'm sure it's places that's like hood, and I'm sure it's places that's whatever. But like the food was like real food. Like I ate the same
Oh
food.
my
And
God.
yes, I ate the same food in the States when I went back, that I missed, and they had burgers,
Yeah.
they had nachos,
Mm.
they had guacamole, they had
Mm-hmm.
everything. They got McDonald's and stuff. I didn't eat that, but Burger King. But
Um.
but when you eat the stuff, it's like when I was in the States and I went to Marie Callender's and all them other places, I
Mm.
was backed up. But this, like,
Mm.
no, it was real food. Like we went,
What?
it almost felt like Africa because
Wow.
it almost felt like here because we went in the airport. Okay, in a LAX or a JFK or a Washington Dulles, you will never see a food court
Mm.
with fresh fruit in there. Like not
Right.
packaged,
No.
not packaged 7-Eleven. No,
Right.
like big old melons that I never seen
Wow.
before. Like the melons that's here, the dark green
Yeah.
ones.
Mm.
Like I was like,
Yeah.
what the heck is
Yeah.
that?
Uh-huh.
I was like, it looked fake. It looked like plastic. I tested. I was like,
Wow.
it's real. They have fruit. They was in the food court
Wow.
flipping stuff like cooking steak right in front of you, like it was a gourmet, and
Yeah.
this is a regular fast food type.
Wow. In the
So I'm like,
airport.
yes, they was like, what you want, onions, and they
Wow.
do all that barbecue stuff like right there in front of you, and they had kombucha, like
Mm.
they it seemed like it's just more a
Damn.
healthier environment.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's really overweight. People smoke, but not as much as Europe. Not I mean not Europe, like France and like some other places. People smoke, but it
Yeah.
wasn't that much. But like people were walking a lot. We had to walk a whole lot. My legs were sore. You gotta take the train. I'm like,
Ooh.
why in a developed quote unquote country can we not have like transportation where you don't need a car? Like once we figured it out,
Yeah.
it was dope. Like we take the train,
Yeah.
little pass, it's affordable. And I'm like, I'm talking to Amadou about it, and he's like, yo, it's because they don't want you to leave your neighborhood. He's like, I never been to a country where they'd be like, what you doing here? But he's like, in the States, they'll be like, oh, you go to a different neighborhood. Oh, what are you doing here? Like you don't belong. He's like, that's
Right.
probably a part of the whole thing to keep you in one place.
Yeah.
But in Europe, they
Mm-hmm.
traveling to different countries. Like people just going hopping
Yes.
from
All the time.
from from Portugal to
Mm-hmm.
Spain. You taking the train to go to France,
Yeah.
like the regular train. And I'm just like, how come in the States
Yeah.
we don't have no kind of system? You can take a
Yeah.
train
You
down
can't really
bus
get
with
easily
all
to
the
another place. Uh-huh. True.
yeah, and then the what's that thing? Like they got the train, like the choo choo train, like what is that?
Yeah.
Like,
Like
um,
in New York, you can say it's kind of like that because you can get to Newark real easily. Like New Jersey, you can take
mhm.
a normal train kind of, and like that's probably the only place that I can
Yeah,
think of that's really like that. You can get around the different boroughs real
exactly. And so
quickly.
I'm like, I'm like, that's messed up. Like, how can it be that way that that you know, we can't even get around in our own country, let alone travel. And I'm like, that's how people keep
Right.
you ignorant,
Right.
because you don't get
Mm-hmm.
exposure to nothing else. And so like this was
Right.
a this was like really really fun. Like in addition to the fact that I was able to travel without my child because having a break from
Yeah.
parenting is always necessary. And
I was so proud of you. I was texting you like I'm so proud because I
yes,
just assumed y'all seen what's coming. I'm like, okay, so y'all
nah,
all going. This is so great, good trip. And then you're like, I'm like, I am so proud of
yes,
you.
yes.
I'm like, yes, this is gonna be good.
I needed that, and because we
Yeah.
both like be in our parent mind all the time. You got to switch, stop, don't touch, bro, and then they be
Hmm.
tired, and I'm like, nah, she's
Hmm.
not gonna hold me back on this time, and so it worked out perfect that family
Right.
was able to stay with her, and the housekeeper stayed like instead of coming every morning, she just stayed, so that was perfect. She had somebody to play with and stuff, and it worked out.
Oh, that's
We
so
came back. The dogs was good. The cat was still alive. The plants didn't die.
perfect.
And people was like, "Oh, you going to
Hmm.
Barcelona?" And I'm like, "Yeah, just for a couple of nights." And they're like, "Dang, that's so short." And I'm like, "Look." If I stay longer, I'm gonna spend more money that I don't have, and I don't know what I'm gonna come back to. Like I got a lot to do, so I just have to get it where I fit in. But
Right.
everybody spoke English too. Like everybody, like
Really?
the Polish people, the German people, like everybody who was a tourist, like tourists, all of them spoke English. Like you see, it was
Yeah.
one it was some people who how do you say, like they were speaking Spanish because we in Spain, but then I was gonna ask where they was from because they were like brown skin, and then all of a sudden they was talking to each other, and I was like, I thought they was Latin, and they was Indian, like from India, and I'm like, oh wow, I like you can't
Dang.
tell, like, because
Like you
some of them
cannot
look,
assume. Yeah.
yeah, some people look Hispanic. We seen black people, and you want to say something to them, but you're like, dang, do they speak? What do they speak? Do they speak Spanish? Do they
Yeah.
speak French? Do they speak English? I don't know.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Amadou was
That's
like,
that's how I feel about being here. So I could just imagine they're in a real like mixing pot of people.
yeah, yeah, I think that Amadou was like, I think out of all the people he guessed were Senegalese, he could probably got 5 out of 8, something like that. I think he was wrong with
Wow.
like two or
Mm.
three people, and he just be going Jai Jeff White, and I'm like, you just gonna say Jai Jeff White to every black person? He's like, no, I could tell, la 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 la. So, but yeah, he
That
knew
is
somebody
so
there.
funny.
He knew somebody there. Like he always know every freaking country, everywhere we go, he knows somebody. And so he's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's such and such brother Usman and this and that and whatever. And I'm
Wow.
like, whoa, like how do y'all, like, that's powerful right there. Like to have people in
Yes.
every country,
Yes.
that's why I feel like us
Come
moving,
on. Come on.
like living in, you know what I'm saying? Us living in Mexico, and like the Black
Yeah.
Americans that's living in Portugal, the Black Americans that's living all over, the continent. Like that's connects. Like we gotta start
Yes.
thinking like that. Cause like
Mhm.
what's
Mhm.
to call it? Because we was there, he was able to bring his homeboy something from his homeboy's little brother, to some shoes or something. It's like, dude, you shopping all
Right.
international and you ain't never left the country.
Right.
Everybody
Right.
got a brother
Right.
in Italy. Everybody, we pulled up.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, this was the sweetest thing. Like, I don't want to talk too long. I got to ask you about your week too. But
Mm.
we went to the
Okay.
beach, and Amadou seen these dudes selling stuff. So it was like 4 or 5 Senegalese dudes on the beach selling stuff, some Indian dudes. And he was like, nah, I'm gonna buy from my people. So we walked by. He was like, well, you can't film them. I tried to film a little bit from far away, but he's like, you can't film them because, if the police come, he's like, I'm just thinking like when he used to do that in Italy, you know, like you would make bank. Like you look broke, but you make bank. Like you could make three, four hundred
Yeah.
dollars a day, like easy. And then, and so he's like, I'm gonna talk to him. So he, after we were buying something, he talks to him, and he's like, 20 years ago, I was in your position. And he's like, and now I've been living back home for 2 years. And like, he's like, we got a channel, you can watch it and see, we show people what we're doing and
Yeah.
stuff. But the dude's eyes lit up when he told him, like, I used to do this in Italy, like go to the beach, sell watches, whatever, whatever, run
Yeah.
when the police come or whoever comes do their little sweep, sometimes they can hit you up for all your merchandise. They just take it. Like you don't go to jail or nothing. I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, if that was the States, they would throw the book at you. But he was like,
They
yeah,
gonna act
sometimes
like you really did a real serious crime.
exactly. He's like, nah, nothing happened. You just pick up your stuff and move. So he said everywhere we went, there was a tourist area. They were selling stuff, um and they would like do it real quick and then pick up their stuff and move to the next little spot. But he's like, it's
Yeah.
usually not a big
Yeah.
deal. It's just if you have a lot of merchandise, they'll take it from you. And if you have something expensive, it can be like 10 grand worth of stuff if you're selling like jewelry or purses or something. But so he talked to the guy. He was like, yeah, so keep grinding, do your thing, stack your bread and go. He was like, man, he's like, you the OG, like 20 years ago. He's like 1990, you know, and it was just cool,
Yeah.
like that he saw himself in them and was like, I'm about to spit some game,
Mhm.
make sure he don't lose sight of what he came here for, because a lot of
Yes.
people fall by the wayside and just
Probably really inspired him.
yeah, so that was pretty dope. And
Yeah.
he got his phone number, you know everybody be. So it's like, okay, if we ever back
Yes.
in
That's so
Barcelona, I
dope.
guess we'll hit him up or whatever. So
That got a whole new. Yeah,
it
that's
was
so dope. It's really powerful too, like you said, to make those connections. And it's funny because we have this idea that Americans, I feel like Black Americans or just Americans in general, no matter what race we are in America, we have this false, this myth about Africans that they don't really travel and get out because it's so poor and all this, but they actually travel more than we do. Like
mm-hmm,
you said, like they're everywhere. It's us that don't like they normally already have a mom or a dad or a cousin or someone that's living somewhere else. You know, I'm not America, but somewhere else in the world. So it's like,
right.
yeah, making those connections crucial. That's a power move for us, for real.
Everyone here has family in Europe and the States. Period. Everybody.
For sure.
Everybody.
For sure.
And we I'm not saying like we can't say that like it's a bad thing that we don't live in other places, but like we don't have no connects, even if it's not family, we don't have no
It is,
connect.
yeah, it is bad. Yeah, it's
No.
bad. It sucks. Like it makes like our minds is small about it because we think America is this big, gigantic place, and there's this whole world. Even I love the way that you mentioned how you were almost anticipating for something to go wrong, like for as far as like for you to feel like you weren't, being accepted or being wanted. That is a Western way. Like, like we think that because of our trauma. So it's
Right.
like
You
then
don't
you step
belong here.
outside of America, yes, and you end up meeting these people that don't come from such harsh racism, and that's not even. It really isn't a thing for them, and you're just like, wow, like that's kind of
No.
weird, but that's what we deserve. That Black Americans, we deserve to be in places where you can be with white people and other people, and they don't know nothing about
Part.
that trauma that you're talking about.
That part
Hmm.
right there. Because and
Yeah.
that's very, very like I've been getting a lot of like this week, and not just this week, but like lately, where it just feels
Yeah.
like we shoot ourselves in the foot so many times
Yeah.
because of our emotional like. And I didn't realize this until I
Uh-huh.
moved here, so I'm not saying like I know everything, but it from the
Yeah.
outside, like being away from everything and looking at the matrix and everything, people be somebody had a post and they was upset that it's a really big YouTube channel and they do news stories like black news stories or
Hmm.
African. So they was like a dude, he's American, and he's like, oh, this lady, he reposted some lady going off on a white guy trying to defend black people. But this lady, the thing that she said that how she tried to connect with this white guy was like, you looking at me, but I'm more white than black. Like when
Hmm.
but she looked, black and something else. So she was
Yeah.
saying like, most of her ancestry, that's how I took it, is white. But the person who posted it was like, what
Right.
is wrong with her? She's lost like Kanye and want to whoop. And it's like, why like
Mm.
people in the comments was like mad because they was mad because oh, we don't need her to defend us, she's lost in the sauce and she's this. And I'm just like, bruh,
Yeah.
everybody, we don't need her to defend us, she can go over there. And it's just like, okay, because she's not hiding her ethnicity,
Who
her
she is, yeah.
it's a bad thing because
Right.
she only got to claim us. And people was acting like we don't,
Yeah.
like other people is mixed.
Mm.
Somebody else said, I'm biracial, and
Oh my God.
I would never say I'm more white than black or something. And I'm just like, but most of us are like, most of us that's quote unquote
A
black
lot of us are, yeah.
is about 70% African and then 25% white anyway. And
Right.
the white
Right.
ancestry that we have is the worst kind because that's the ones that was raping and pillaging it anyway. So I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Hmm.
so like they're like, well, if your dad is black and you're black and the one drop rule and all this crap. And I'm like, dude, it was the white people that made that up. Like, what are we doing? So we
Hmm.
telling these people, you can't be a part of us. We don't need you. If you Dominican and you say you're not black, we can't. Why are we pushing people away and we
Yeah.
already are outnumbered in that place anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes.
So like it's
You
just
know, that right there is really interesting because even for me, like, one of the videos I did of me making the Indian tacos, like when I'm embracing my mom's side is
yeah.
Native American and my father's side is, black and, African, whatever term we want to use.
Mhm.
But, when I'm trying to embrace my mother's side, like my father's side, my grandmother died before I was even thought of. My grandfather died from my dad's side before I was even thought of. So I never met them. So I don't have
Mhm.
a deep connection with that family because I don't really know them like that. But my mom's
Mhm.
side,
Mhm.
I know them more, and I know my grandmother, my great grandmother. So when I'm always representing like me being black, I'm always repping for that. But when I try to embrace my Native American side publicly, it's the
Mhm.
same thing. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you trying to do this, da, da, da. I'm like, no, like that's a part of me. Like, do I just say forget my grandma and the people that I love and stuff because I'm not just
Mhm.
being fully on some.
Mhm.
Well, what the Indians, the Native Americans, they used to feel this way and they did that. Like that's why in that video I kind of had those disclaimers. Even in my description, I'm like,
Mhm.
say something nice because I don't got no time for. I don't care how you feel about the Native American history and da, 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 And yeah, that sucks. It's like this
It's
Western really small way of thinking, really.
we want we want to have these Olympics of oppression and make it seem like, okay, well, y'all need
Yeah.
to be with us and y'all need to support us. Y'all need to, like, all the other minorities got to be with us, and all the mixed people got to just claim black. And then and it's all
Mm-hmm.
fear. It's all fear. We really are trying to
Mm-hmm.
protect ourselves from danger. That's why whenever
Yeah.
somebody say, "Oh, you're being racist just like the white people," or that's rape, like, people say no color lines,
Right.
they try to make it like try to flip it, reverse backwards racism, whatever. But it's like, no,
Right.
we are afraid of the oppressor. Period. Point blank.
Yeah.
And if you say that you
Mm-hmm.
not, like, you lying, because why would you? I can't deal with them. I don't want to deal.
Why
Like,
do you? Yeah.
exactly.
Why
And
are you?
and
Why
I'm
are we
and I
separating
that's what I
ourselves?
exactly. I did a video before I moved here because I was thinking about how I'm gonna talk to my daughter about white people, because we're gonna grow up in a different environment where it's not gonna be in her face, but I still want her to be educated. And so, you know, I'm like, how we can't, like, look at people who are like Halle Berry and Mariah Carey and Alicia Keys and whoever and just be like, oh, they're black, and forget their mom and forget they,
Yeah.
Chinese, whoever, or what's
Right.
that girl that sings, she Asian. Her is Filipino, and what's his name
Yeah.
that play the
Uh
drums? What's his name play the drum? Anyway, what's his name? He like
huh.
Vietnamese.
Yeah.
I can't think of it right now, but he got a pretty smile. But anyway, what's his name? Not
And
Bruno,
that
not
makes you
Bruno
wanna.
Mars, but he sing with Bruno Mars
Oh.
together. Anderson Paak. So
Oh.
like,
Okay.
yeah, like Anderson Paak. If you ever been around, like, I don't know if it's Southeast Asian or like Vietnamese, Cambodian stuff, you see his teeth, he Asian. Like, you can't. And
Yeah.
I grew up with people like that, and it's like, you can't expect. I did it because it's part of our culture, and I had to grow out of it,
Right.
like expecting to label people just as black only, and forget that they're Belizean, forget. And I'm like, that's not cool.
Right.
Just because I don't know
Mm-mm.
where my ancestors come from, like before the states, don't mean I gotta take away everybody else, like what they got.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, going
Right.
on. So it's
Exactly.
insecurity, and people feel rejected, like.
Yeah.
Like, but like you were saying, we should
Because
be
we don't.
able to
So we
go
don't
to a
know.
place where white people are there, and we could be cool with them without being afraid of them,
Yeah.
without being like, without being treated a certain way, without being, and that's how I felt when I was there. Like, nobody gave me no weird look, like, oh, I never seen a black
Yeah.
person travel before. Like, it was
Right.
two black girls walked by speaking French. It was two other black girls, and they was British, and it was two other ones, they was American. Once you hear them talk, but you don't know, and then you go into a store and you see somebody that look like you with curly hair, and you're like, dang, I
Right.
wonder. Like, you have no idea. Like, you're like, are you Cuban? Are you Vietnamese? Are you
Yeah.
Bolivian? Are you? Panamanian? Are you African and one of your parents is from
Right.
Spain? Like you just never know. And I love
Yeah, no
that
clue.
everybody just was
Yeah,
cool. And
no
so
clue.
you see dudes that look Mexican and stuff, but then they're probably from South America or somewhere else, maybe. But
Yeah.
like somebody was playing
Mhm.
bachata music on the train. He had his little
Mhm.
speaker, and then all of a sudden you hear this
Mhm.
radio voice come on. It's like, Damas y caballeros, let me just give you a little. And so he was singing and doing his little bachata. I was like, oh,
Ah, ah,
you know,
nice.
but
Yes.
I just it's amazing, and I want to take my daughter there, and when she's a little older, like 10 or something, and just to
Yeah.
feel to feel that type of freedom. Like I'm sure they got issues. People was protesting when we was there, like the government or like some stuff,
Yes.
and whatever. But when you see the people protesting, it didn't look like how it looked in the States where they're mostly like black and brown or whatever. Like it was all these white guys like, you're corrupt and the government, la la la. And it's like, but like they're the lower class, like they
Yeah.
racist to the gypsy people more than
Right.
anybody else really, like, you know. But
And
I
that's the
did.
thing, like that's what you get when you travel outside of America and you go to a few
Yeah.
countries. And this is something I've always known. I don't know why. My dad used to be a traveler. So I hadn't this is my first country I've been to. But you would think I had traveled all my life. It's just something that I've known. But I've just been like, like you don't you understand like a lot of Americans will be like, but it's racism everywhere. Oh, but we always want to focus on somebody else's issue. There's issues everywhere in every country. There's some people that are going against something that the government did or said or something like that. That happens. And there's racism everywhere. You're going to find that, but it's just not up to the levels and the degrees that we assume, because
Yeah.
when our world is just that one little Western, American
Mhm.
view, it's not like that. And you really can find white people and people of other races that are like, they don't even understand. They're like, what? Like, I don't know that level. Like, we all heard of it, but the level that you're speaking
and
on,
they
I'm so confused.
and they cool, like some of them is
Yes,
cool, and
you can
and
trust
like,
them. Like,
yeah. Yes,
yeah,
and it's interesting to be in a position to be open in that way when where the
yeah,
environment where I'm from, I'll never like, I don't care. Like,
yeah. It's so black and white. It's so like, if they
yeah,
not black and like literally, you know what? This is how close minded it'll have us. I don't know if you noticed this, but Black Americans, we kind of like when somebody says somebody black, we don't really put an African or a black person that lives in Europe and born, like, we don't really put them under the category of black. When
mm-hmm,
we say black people, we kind of think black people automatically means Black American. And it was I was doing it myself years ago, and it was an African chick who grew up in America, and she said, every time we talk about, like, we say black people, she was like, and then if I say he was from somewhere else, you'll say, African or something, like, to kind of, so I can understand where you're coming from. And she's like,
mm-hmm,
that we're we're black too. I'm like, of course. But I didn't realize that with my verbiage, the way I'm looking at it, like when
mm-hmm,
I hear black people, it's a Black American. Otherwise, I'm like, oh, you mean something else. But no, they see themselves as black people too. We just
mm-hmm.
think that America is the world. So it's like,
Yes, we do, and
yeah,
it's so detrimental. It's so detrimental. Like,
yeah,
I really am thankful that I have a U.S. passport that allows me to travel without all the
hmm,
issues and problems that challenges that other countries like here, may have. But it's a life changing experience to see the world outside of the states where you have people in your family. Like, I always was afraid or afraid to open up or get close to white people, always. Like, even like I had homegirls who may have dated somebody or been like, if they were white, like inside out white, like all white. I was, even though I did date a white guy, but we'll say that for another day. But like if they talk like anything that triggers that like the voice and the accent and the culture that I'm like nah.
Right.
Even when I was in college, we ran track with white girls. One white girl was like, "Oh, we was in a fight with another team or something like that. Would you fight me?" I was like, "No," because I would go to jail and you wouldn't. So they're like, "Oh, that's messed up." I'm like, "It is.
Damn.
The world is messed up. I'm not your friend. Like, I don't care if you
Mm-hmm.
want to date black guys and braid your hair and be whatever, because I know after this college experience is over, I will never hear from you again. I already know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like,
Yeah.
cause so in my mind, like y'all all fake, y'all all trifling, y'all all,
Yeah.
I'm staying away. I don't have no
Mm-hmm.
time for it. Now I'm able to and
Yeah.
chill most of the time and be free. And so it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I can decide who I want to kick it with and who I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's why it's important for us to leave America, even if it's not to stay. It's so important because you
yeah,
get this traveler's mind. You see that everyone is human, even though it doesn't mean forget. It doesn't mean act like it doesn't exist. It doesn't mean just
mhm,
that's not what we're saying. But there's definitely a shift in your mind where it's like, okay, you could not be on this. You gonna call the police? This whole like you could not be on that. Like there's people that
mhm,
don't think like that. Right? People that don't think
mhm,
like that. So yeah,
yeah,
that's important. Yes, girl.
true.
I was so happy for you. I was like, yes. I was like living through you. I'm like, send me pictures of food. I want to know what you ate. Like,
Yes.
so yes, I love that for y'all.
It was.
Right.
I have
It's so much to
pictures of the
love.
food. The nachos that I had. I'm dreaming of them. Like they were so fresh, and the guacamole, like they just made it, and it was just like it was better than like the Chipotle's and the like all that crap. Like it
Oh
was
my god.
amazing.
Oh my
They had burgers with no bread, and it was just like so. I don't know.
wow.
Anyway, it's a lot. It's a lot,
Wow.
and
Wow. Look, I'm like, wow, no bread
I
burgers. It's
really miss,
it's a health.
the variety of food. My living
Yeah.
situation. Like, have somebody cook for you every day, you're gonna end up eating rice. So it's like it was nice
Yeah.
to have I had the best pizza, and nothing made me feel like the way I felt
Mm,
when I was back in LA. So it was just
right.
like, you know, it was great. It was awesome. But
Yeah.
y'all see the vlogs coming. I don't want to take over the time. How was
Yes.
your
My week was good. I didn't go anywhere. I edited.
I can see that,
And
bruh.
right?
Every day,
Yes.
video. Like, I'm like, wait, let me watch.
Yes. She is in beast mode. I literally like had a team meeting with the kids. Like, okay, enough of this talk. Okay, I've been doing YouTube for so many years. I'm like, let
Mm-hmm,
me stop playing. I'm about to turn it up. So yeah, the kids have been cooking more so that I can have more time to edit and just meet my goals. Like we've been like shifting our schedule, all kind of good stuff to make sure that I can like get that out there. I have
mm-hmm,
so many things I want to share on my YouTube. So yeah, I've been just focusing on YouTube being my main platform and just my practices and stuff, like what I'm doing with my doula work and stuff. I have not I didn't I literally did not leave the house so much this week that I went outside yesterday and
mm-hmm.
I just went to the beach and it was like, oh, I haven't even been outside. Like I realized like I went out maybe 3 times to get food and then I just been sending Trey or doing deliveries, sending one of my friends. So I'm like, yeah, I love it. I'm getting stuff done. Yes. What was I about
Yeah,
to say? I was
I have
gonna
to
ask.
catch up on all your videos. I watched the birthday one, the birthday Titus birthday surprise. Oh my gosh, that was so
Yes.
cute. Seeing his face and
Yes.
how you make them all talk about what they like about their brother, like all the kids. That was cool.
Mhm, mhm. I know.
Yeah.
I was like, I did two. This is Titus' second birthday. We did the birthday cam, and I have the same thing for I got 3 birthdays in one week. So the rest of their birthdays are all at the end of March in that last week, and I did the same thing, but I was so inconsistent in the beginning of this year that I never edited and did it. So now I'm like, okay, like I'm editing, like I'm doing it, so that should be out really soon, and then you'll be able to see like the other perspectives or. But yeah, it was so cute.
Hmm.
It was
And
a
what's
real
the other video
African
you
party
got?
because What did I do? Like some island stuff. Oh,
Yes,
the TWA.
that was really cute. I really like that. It's in the airport all the time.
Yeah, it's a hotel.
Oh, oh, you can
Hmm.
stay there.
It's a hotel. Yeah, you can stay there. I found it on TikTok like a few months before I went to the States. And then I was like, I don't know when, how, but I'm gonna get to this place. I gotta see this. And you know how I ended up going to
Hmm.
the States like super last minute. So I was like, okay, I'm at this airport. I gotta do it. Yes,
Wow.
it was such a good
Yeah, I
experience.
never had heard of that or seen that. And when you was the
Yes,
rotary phone, you was playing with the rotary phone. It was so
yes,
cool with the typewriter. It reminded me of like my granddad with his typewriter and had these little
yes.
whiteout.
Girl, I was like, okay, we bumping 50s music. I didn't even know I'm like a part of this era on this level. Like I had so much fun editing it with the music and everything. I'm like, okay, I'm listening to 60s, 50s and 60s music now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, when I came
Hmm.
back from Spain, I've been listening to flamenco. They got flamenco reggaeton.
Oh,
Yeah,
really? I
like
think
they.
you listening to Lauren Hill in the video. I was
Oh
like,
yeah,
okay,
and
that's so
they have so like the TV came on. We was watching YouTube, and then some videos came on in the commercials or whatever, and it was this
mm,
dude. Oh, they got tattoos like all up everywhere. Everybody. That was
really,
interesting too.
really.
Like all these women had
Oh,
not like you, like sleeve, like the whole, like everything with
what?
skulls and everything. That was something
Shut
that I
up. Let
was
me
like,
find out. I need to go get my next tattoos there.
they like.
What?
So when we everywhere we went, like the airport, like you know how in the States they'll be like, oh, you can't, you got to cover it up, and it's not professional for certain jobs. Like they still be on that, but like them, you see all these like white and Hispanic looking, but like white, like all these white people with like even an older lady. Like I saw, how sometimes you'll see like a old white lady with tats all over, but she's like different.
Yeah,
Like this was like a regular
she's
old white
different.
lady on a tour, and she had like all this right here, like her shoulder with some flowers and
What?
all this. And then you see her little short old lady haircut with her dude, and I was like, huh? Like, wow, y'all like very open,
Wow.
and, like, so yeah, you see
That's
the whole
so dope.
it was girls. I was surprised. Like Amadou was like, yeah, in the States too. I'm like, nah, girls, and not
Wow.
like we used to get butterflies and stuff. Like
Right.
this, like you see people with like scary little Halloween looking, but like a whole bunch, and they'll be working at the store and at the hotels and stuff. And I'm like, dang, you can work at a hotel, like that's interesting. So that was
Right. Wow.
interesting
That's
too.
cool. That's something you definitely wouldn't expect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. But so
That's
they
so.
listen to flamenco, but like it's like new flamenco. There's like the slow one. You know how they do the little stuff, and
Oh yeah. Oh, I love
that's
that.
that's like the African influence. But they
Yeah.
so when they sing and they do that like little Arabic sounds or whatever, and then they put that to the reggaeton beat, it's like you feel something.
Oh.
It's like all the African everything, North Africa, West Africa, and the Caribbean
Wow.
blend together. It's really like, so I'm vibing to that right now, like listening to my
Yes.
little thing, and so that was cool, and yeah,
Yeah,
it
I
was.
didn't know what the music was like there, but I was just like, well, I hope they're gonna do like some bachata, like
Yeah,
salsa, like
yeah.
how y'all was
They
dancing at the. I was like, I hope they do a video. That's what I was thinking.
they really into bachata and reggaeton right
Yeah,
now. So yeah,
that's
it's
dope.
everything. The whole world is getting smaller for sure, and
Yes,
it's very
that's so
like you
cool.
see these kind of dudes that's like they got the man bun, kind of like who's the dude
Oh
Lisa Bonet was
yeah.
the dude Lisa Bonet was with what's his name, but they broke up. Uh,
Oh,
Momoa, yeah,
amazing.
Jason
Is
Momoa.
was it black men out there with the man bun like that?
Nah, it wasn't that many like with hair. Nah. But you
Oh,
seen the
okay.
dudes, they got the
Hold
shaved on
on,
side and they
baby.
got
I
the
might need
little
to get out there.
man, but they had I didn't see a lot of black people, but I didn't feel like I was the only one or nothing like that. It
Right,
was just
right.
it was just like sprinkled in. It's weird because in Paris, I did feel that. It was just like
Oh,
they
really?
Paris, they wasn't nice. Like here, people were nice. Like they were
Yeah.
just real like
You know, even
helpful.
here in Senegal, a lot of them don't like people in Paris and France, and like they be like, because they be like, they not nice. That's what I always hear.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Video was nice. Oh, okay.
Senegalese people.
So, do we have any questions? Can we go through some comments? I don't know if
Yeah.
we missed something.
Yeah. Let's go through the comments. What did Bledsoe say? I need to meet up with somebody's son.
Is that what she said? That's
Mm-hmm.
hilarious. Yes, girl. We need to go. No, let me stop. 'Cause I'm gonna say we need to go sun finding. No, let me. That's not even what I want to do.
Cool.
um.
Wherever you
What's
want to go
what are
through.
we speaking in Wolof? I see some Wolof
Oh,
conversating going on.
somebody
What's
said what's up to Umi.
that? Yes. Hey, what's up, Umi? Oh, did I? I think I tried to on the thing.
I think somebody
Oh, okay.
said Senegalese waktan you waktan binehna. So something about talking is good or something like that. Or maybe it's a good conversation.
Okay.
Maybe that's Umi.
Oh,
I can't do Wolof,
Jaja,
man.
Jaja. Huh?
I'm not gonna say I can't because I can, but I can't. Wolof is hard, bro.
This is what I say to you when you talk about a language being hard and not speaking a language.
It's
What?
so
Fine,
it's so
fine.
much harder than the other ones. And
Okay,
everybody
over
saying
here speaking
it's
in French
easy.
and stuff.
It's easy. It's easy. I know it's not.
This girl be out here speaking French and Wolof, y'all, acting like she don't do it. It's just so
But
crazy to me. Like,
but it's funny because like those languages are so close to English, and I think that's
yeah,
why. Like I don't even think I could do an Asian language unless it was like
mm,
what is it Tagalog maybe because they write it's kind of like Spanishish like but like
mm,
Portuguese I was picking it up. I'm like okay Deutsche something something something. I'm like okay it sound like
yeah,
do's and dos and like but
yeah, yeah.
Wolof they got that little back in the throat thing.
Right,
I
right.
can't. It's
Nah,
like
nah, nah, nah.
no
Right.
oh
No,
man
no. For me, it's so weird
it
because I've been obsessed with French
hurt.
forever. So I just knew that French was going to be like my easiest thing. But like when I try to envision me, like when I try to picture myself speaking the language, I cannot see myself speaking French, but I can see myself speaking Wolof. And it's like even though
Mm,
besides that sound right there, it reminds me more of like the Black American language, like because it's like kind of like
okay.
American language is kind of like hard, rather than the
Hmm.
the little like
Yeah.
So I find it being like easy and hard at the same time. But I'm not
I, I,
practicing either one of them, so it
I
doesn't matter.
just I just want to wait for all the other American people to come so we can talk together with our accent because when I talk, people are like, you
Right.
gotta say it like this. I'm like, y'all can't teach it right. Let me just say it in my own accent.
Exactly.
Like,
Yes.
okay, I'm gonna read
I'm,
what Afri Découverte say. Ça va ziarwa Tokyo nyongi lai no you no you
Tokyo is
no you.
good. I'm low key guessing.
Oh, somebody's in Tokyo, I guess. But anyway,
But it says
but
Savage,
then
so
Abdul Rahman Jallo says, "Hola, ¿qué tal?" Hola, ¿qué tal? Is so easy. I know all the rules. I know how it go. I know where the
yeah.
accent go. Like I need that structure. I'm too white. I'm sorry.
Right.
I need
Oh
I
my
need all the
goodness.
formula. Like Africa is so free. Their language be free, and it's just
Right.
like
Exactly. Yes.
nobody
Because
spell the
I definitely be
same.
speaking like a Senegalese.
Everybody.
Like I'll mix my French and my Wolof together, just like whatever. And I'm glad that that's
Mm-hmm.
legal here. I'm glad you can do that.
Jamarek, like Moam Solo. So like
To be in.
I could do that, But when they get to the throat stuff, I don't want to. Like it hurt. It
Right.
takes a lot of effort that I don't have. I have to speak it
Right.
soft. I used to think Wolof was like German sounding. Like it seemed
Yeah,
very
it
harsh.
does. A little
Like
bit.
people
Uh-huh.
mad.
Hmm. It's true. It has that harshness to it, like a different level of our harshness.
Mm-hmm. But
Yes. Okay, so it looks like you guys did not have any questions or
Umi
anything
said she enjoyed
extra.
Titus' birthday blog.
Thank you. Thank you, Umi. I appreciate you guys for watching my vlogs, y'all. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. So I really like so I really, really appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm so glad we got
Umi
to
has
come in
said
today.
before. You
Huh.
said what?
I said I'm so glad that we got to come in tonight too. I was like, I have to
Yes.
see you.
For sure. No, I was reading the old comments. Umi has said, "Ooh, spill the tea." Yeah, the tea
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
spilled later. I'm gonna have to do the voiceover on some of the vlog because yeah, it
Yes.
went down twice, and
And you didn't
I
even
like
tell me
I
about the
like
second time, so
I
I
like when
can't
stuff
wait.
happens because after you travel, you have this whole story. I was like, we got stories to tell the grandkids. Like, remember that time you almost got
Right.
arrested in
Right.
Portugal, trying to get bug on
Yes.
somebody?
Right. Exactly. And
Oh
it
goodness.
always works out. It's just be like, because I'm okay. I'm not gonna. Okay. I was gonna say something about that situation, but we'll save
Uh huh.
it.
Um,
It's gonna turn into a whole
somebody
new
just
conversation.
asked. Somebody did just ask a question though. Do Senegalese people act like black folks? Senegalese people are black.
Yes. I'm answering in sign language. It's a hell yes. Like the same. Same.
Dude,
It's
when we
the
got on the
same. The
plane,
way.
when we got on the
Huh.
plane to come back, you know when you coming back to Senegal, how you go to the gate and you see all the Senegalese people at the gate, you're like, oh, these
Yes.
black people, here they go. And
Right.
so I was like, all these I was like, oh, this is our gate, that's why. And so man, everybody want to cut the line. Nope, like
Right.
it's more than black. It's like an extra blackness to it because
Yes.
people was like, it was like old men, and they would be like, "Oh, you know how you supposed to line up by your little zone A, B, C, like where you sitting on the plane."
Right.
Nobody was paying
Right.
attention to that. They got
No.
in, like squishing over, and it's just like, bruh,
They
like
be
how you
on
be doing
another
your
level of not giving it. Yes.
how you be doing in your video when you like, bruh. That's how I was like, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, come on. And then and then when we on the plane, it's 1 o'clock in the morning or I don't know what time it was. Anyway, we flying at night and nobody want
Mm.
to sleep. They want to talk like they all friends. Don't nobody know each
Yes.
other. And they just like, yeah,
Right.
la 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 la, walk time, and like, won't talk. And I'm like, dude, we trying to sleep. Like the lights is
Yes.
off. Come on, like, yes. They was
It's
like,
next level. It's next.
they was
It's
like, "Oh, I want to sit over there. Is the seat? Is everybody sitting down now? I want to sit over there so I can have room to lay down." And like people were switching seats, and they like it was, but it was. I mean, it happens on every flight, but it's just on
right.
another level when it's all them on the flight.
Yes.
It's like I
Yes.
can't sleep.
Even like
I can't
you know
hear
what? When
the announcements when they announcing like your flight gonna be 30 minutes late, blah, 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 and they just talk. I'm like, I can't hear y'all. I want to know. What? I got a connection. I
no,
hope
you
that
know
answers
what? When yes, yes, it definitely does. When I first came here, one of the ways that I knew that we were the same, I remember asking one of my friends at like the first week or two that I was here, and he was like, "Hell yeah." He was like, "Listen, let me tell you," and he's from Gambia and he was living here. He was like,
Mhm.
let me tell you something. He was like, "If you start running right now, I guarantee you everybody else is gonna start running." I was like, "Stop playing." I was like, "That's how I know you know." It's yes, it's official. And see, okay, so this is what I want to point out. The way that question was asked, that's exactly what I was saying. It's not. I'm not like getting onto you. This is the same mistake I made, but it just shows you like because Black Americans we see being black as you like you Black American, but we don't realize outside of America they
Exactly.
identify as being Black too. Even though at the end of
Uh-huh.
the day you might say, yeah, I know they Black, but the way that we word it, we don't call
Right.
like it's like if you Black American to us. But
It's
then
not a
an
yeah,
African will be like, what you mean? I'm a Black man. Like an African, like I'm a Black man. Like what you mean?
right.
But we don't really register that because we just
We
yeah,
basically abbreviate it, and when you move somewhere
yeah,
else is when you have to change how you speak and actually specify because who you're talking
yeah.
to. So when you're talking to people
Mhm.
from here and they be like, "Oh, what the person look like?" You can't say they Black. Everybody Black. And when they say, "Oh,
Right,
when they say where they from," you can't say they Black because that's not a place. So you gotta say they American.
right.
But then you want to specify because it's like it's different cultures in America. So you'll be like, well, they're
Yeah,
Black American because if it's white American,
yeah.
that's a
Right,
whole nother game. Like. But
right.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. And they definitely say nigga more than we do. They say it more than
Everybody,
we do.
yo,
Okay?
There's a Panamanian rapper that's his rap name. Like everywhere.
Listen,
Come
listen.
on.
I have not heard it on the level that I've been growing up around it. I thought you think you hear it all the time. You don't hear it
Mm-hmm.
all the time until you move to Africa, okay? Yes. We are really one and the same. It's so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So many on so many levels. We can go on and on. I said I was gonna do a video about that, like the ways that we are exactly the same. We
Oh,
late,
Nana,
exactly. Like
I'm
we
gonna
got,
feel feel
we
better
got colored
than
people
this.
time, huh?
Oh, I just read this thing. Go ahead.
Oh, you know how we got CP time, which is colored people time. So I call it African time, and it's next level. Like however we are, they are exactly the same, but a little bit most of the time another
Yes,
level
yes,
because that African
yes.
time is real.
Yeah, you know how like it's everything is a little extra. So like you know how you can have somebody like who country and they do little habits and it be annoying. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody country. Like 80% of the country is country. Like
Mm-hmm.
like
Right.
you know like it used to be stuff that I used to look at Amadou and be like, why are you like this? And so whenever it's other people around, I was like, now I see why you don't follow no rules. None of y'all follow no rules. Like they said, this is the line for A and B. It's, y'all just
Right.
all. I used to think I'm like, you just gotta be against everything. Like it's because here is
Exactly.
no rules. Everything is kind of like
Exactly.
you just flow. You just not a big deal. No, I was reading what somebody was saying. Somebody saying in Wolof. I think they're talking to somebody else, but they said Tokyo is a lot of stress. So I guess that's
Oh,
where they
okay,
are.
okay.
Sorry about that.
Oh, okay, okay. No, you good.
From the
So
job.
this, okay, okay, okay. We're supposed to be closing out, y'all, but let me say what you just
Yeah.
said is so real because you gotta have so much patience. You just be like, you can't like even with my friends, you want to be like, why are you like that? Like, why don't you
hmm
care about what time and
Yes.
when you said, like what you said? Why you and then you just can't make nobody care about something because it's not even a bad thing to them. So it's just like, and they just be like, you need to chill,
Whatever.
like,
Yes.
right?
No.
Like,
We had we had a business retreat while we was gone. We had a meeting for our company, and
uh,
so we was going over stuff, and I'm on my computer, but I won't. And so he's like, cool, we done. And I'm just like, meetings usually like when you at meetings like they last for like a couple hours. Like it's not just
right.
30, 40 minutes and you done. Like we gotta go through the agenda, like everything gotta,
Right.
keep organizing stuff. And so he was like, "Oh, well, that's your role." I said, "Nah, man, we want to build an enterprise. You gotta start to." But everybody here does business the same way. Like I was always the
Yes.
one trying to keep stuff organized and write it down, and he thought I was a unicorn, and I thought like,
Right.
okay, he'll get it eventually. But so he's
Mm.
like, we just talked just now, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna follow up Monday. I'm gonna go through all our notes from the meeting and and then you can follow up on your part and write. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you the information. I said, no, can you write it down and then tell me like so you don't have to tell me every time. Like if you're gonna tell me 10 things, I'd rather you write it down and tell me all at
Yeah.
once instead of
Right.
calling me every time. Oh, this was $50 or this
Yes.
was this receipt. Like, no, you're giving me more
We're
work
gonna
to
do
do.
it the easier way.
Yeah, I'm
Yes.
like, keep track of your stuff, and then I don't have to do it. But it's just like everything is just so.
Oh my God. Like I'm telling you, like the water dude, this water man that's supposed to bring us water, he saves me so much money because he bring the water. The craziest thing is that he really don't care about no type of like he don't care that when he say he gonna come, he's supposed to come 3 days every day. 3 days ago, every single day, he's supposed to come. And when he don't come, and I'll be like I'm not gonna tell him I'm not gonna do business with him. And it's just like he just never cared. Like today I realized I'm just gonna have to conform and stop saying stuff. Like, okay, whatever. Like this is how you end up being this way because you learn that you just have to say whatever anyway. So I'm like, what's the point of me saying the same thing? Like,
You can't make people stress about nothing, even if you want them
yes,
to. It's like you want to shake
yes.
somebody, and be like, "This is important."
Yes,
Ah,
I'm like, but did
like,
you tell him? Did you explain to him that he's gonna lose my business? I already told him he don't care. Like I'm like, but what are we supposed to do? Like I have to just keep paying him because I need him. So then that's it. And he's not the only one. The other ones that I got, they doing the same shit. So
because ain't no. That's how ain't nobody struggling over here. They can say all they want. Like I'm
yes,
sure individual people got individual
exactly,
problems, but if you if
exactly.
you had to if you had to do what you got to do to eat, you would do it.
And
I'm
they
not,
be like,
ain't nobody,
okay,
ain't
you're not
nobody
gonna
about to get, ain't nobody about to get evicted. Ain't nobody about to get kicked out of their family house and in the
no,
street. Ain't nobody about to not eat. Ain't nobody about to like, you know what
no.
I'm saying? Like, man, yeah, it's
It's
crazy,
different.
yo.
It's different. Okay,
Ah,
so Umi, we would love to add you, but we are about to close out. We are supposed to close out like 20
yes,
minutes ago. So,
yeah,
so we love it,
yeah,
you guys.
exactly.
Yes.
But this was
So thank
fun.
you guys. I know this was really fun. I'm so glad we got to come in. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. If you guys enjoyed this tonight's show, then show us some love, thumbs up, share.
Definitely.
Don't forget the super thanks, super chat. You can hit the little thingy and you can gift us, donate us in any way. It just keeps us
Right.
going. We're going to be on the road doing our thing, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and it don't have to be a lot because if it's $1, we can get some Cheddar Jen like going over here, like
I'm saying, like, everybody send $1. That's like $23 right now. We're going to have
yeah,
a whole little,
we
like,
got Cheddar Jen for the whole month.
that's a bus ticket to the Gambia twice,
Yep, yep.
a
So
couple things.
we appreciate it.
Yes, yes, we appreciate you guys. Okay, so the closeout. Like, why are we been forgetting to close
You
the
you know how we do
on repat no
that,
cap
no cap. The
the
migration will
migration?
not be televised.
It'll be on YouTube.
Hmm.
Peace out. We love
I
you
do
guys.
love you. Thank you for joining us.
Tikana.